What's up, YouTube? I'm Brett from RANTS. As always, guys, if you enjoy our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave that comment down below. We're on the road to 1,000, and we hope you guys can help us get there. Alright, so if there's one movie that I was really excited for Phase 4 of the MCU, it would had to be The Eternals. That was a movie, I just thought it was just a really cool concept, something completely and totally different from what we've seen before. I mean, you've got these basically celestial gods that we were going to actually get to see, that we've got little snippets of throughout the MCU, but we were actually going to get to see them in action. And I thought that was a really cool idea, something that, like I said, it was so unique compared to some of this other stuff of just, rehashing the same content over and over again. But as time has gone on, and the movie's been stalled a little bit, and really just no news on it for so long. And of course, lately we've got to see a little bit of clips from the movie, and while it looks, I guess, okay, there's still a part of me that's like, I'm like, ooh, I don't know, like, my excitement level has gone down drastically. And most of it has to do with the delays and not really getting any information out there. I'm one of those types of people that I believe that if they think that a movie's going to just be great with fans, then they're going to show tidbits of it here and there. But they've actually kept a lot of this under wraps, and it kind of makes me almost wonder why. Like, why do they do that? Well, my questions and my concerns must have gone unheeded, because it turns out that it looks like Marvel has already given Eternals 2 development. I mean, it's already started on development. So we'll just have to see on that one. Like, I guess they're confident in it enough to believe that, you know what, it's deserving of a second movie. I'm a little bit hesitant about that. Because look, we haven't even got to see what Black Widow's going to do. We don't really know how fans are going to react, post-pandemic to any Marvel movies. Look, there for what, a decade, we were getting Marvel movies just popping out all the time. And yeah, I mean, that became kind of like a norm for this generation to just see the new Marvel movies. I mean, that was our thing. That was our Game of Thrones movie-wise. But I have to think it. I don't know. It feels like some of the magic has gone from it now. It almost kind of feels like after the Snyder Cut with DC, it feels like DC's catching on a little bit more. So there's all this excitement about HBO Max. And yeah, I mean, we've seen WandaVision. And now we've got to finish seeing The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And to be honest with you, I thought WandaVision was unique and different. But I felt like it just bombed the ending so bad that, to me, it ruined a lot of things for me. And then the Kevin Feige coming out and saying, well, we wanted to tease Doctor Strange, for Doctor Strange 2 movie. But we didn't want him showing up in WandaVision simply because we didn't want a white male, taking over Wanda's glory in it, and that kind of bothered me. That wasn't a good reaction. That was one of the worst things that he could have possibly said, because it just makes me feel like this is it's all about politics, identity politics, more than it's about telling good stories. I don't like that. And of course, we got to see that a lot with The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Wasn't really a big fan of that. I just really wasn't a big fan of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier anyways. I felt like the only reason why we had The Falcon and the Winter Soldier was simply because to sell merchandise of Sam Wilson in the Captain America armor. That's all on the suit. That was it. To me, that was the only reason for that series. I felt like it didn't set up anything. It wasn't really that interesting. It didn't seem like it knew where it wanted to go. When it come to the Flag Smashers, when it come to Sam, when it comes to just Captain America as a whole, So I just didn't think it was just well put together. But the Eternals already getting a sequel after all the delays and really no news about it, and the idea that Marvel is giving it a sequel without actually seeing the returns for it kind of troubles me a little bit. But let's go ahead and let's read a little bit about what this is saying. It says, up until recently, the mystery surrounding Eternals has remained strong, but Marvel Phase 4 sizzle reel pulled back the curtain and finally gave a first look at the film. The ensemble could be seen in various periods across the film 7,000 year story, and anticipation for the film has only increased. Behind the scenes reports have swirled about how confident Marvel is in the film and Zhao's vision as director. Her unprecedented creative control on the film has seen her have a hand in everything from the final cut of Eternals to developing the screenplay alongside Marvel scribes. It says right here, this anticipation and confidence has reportedly translated to the studio's move to develop a sequel to the nearly 6 months before it hits theaters. John Campea reveals that the studio is hard at work on the follow-up, though they didn't announce any such thing in the Phase 4 preview. Campea likened it to how the studio has yet to announce Avengers 5, despite the fact that it's all but guaranteed to be in development. The sizzle in Eternals 2, Campea said, it's basically the same reason Avengers 5 and Eternals 2 weren't announced. They were only announcing those films up to 2023 that have verified release dates. There are over 20 plus projects on the board. We all know there's going to be an Avengers 5 and there's going to be an Eternals 2. Now, my question to you, why do we know that there's going to be Eternals 2? Why do we know that? What about the Eternals that stands out to you makes you think we're going to have a Eternals 2? What if this Eternals movie, for whatever reason, whether it be post-pandemic, feelings about going to theaters or even watching it on, let's say, I don't know, Disney Plus. What about if subscription services don't do good, if they do like straight to release, or any of those other little things, or if they just do it in the movie theaters? Well, I mean, what if this movie bombs? And you've already got this thing in development. Are you just going to shut it down and be like, no, we're not going to continue with this? Or are you going to, what this makes me think is this isn't a returns-based system anymore. Used to be where if you are maybe a proven commodity, you know that you're going to get, let's take Avengers, for instance. Avengers 5. That makes sense. Every Avengers movie has done good. So, I mean, to me it'd be kind of stupid to be like, oh, well, Avengers, let's come out with Avengers 2 before Avengers 1 even come out. At least give us, get some idea in your mind of being like, okay, fans want to see more of this, so therefore we give them more what they want to see. So I'm really kind of confused about this when it comes to Eternals. I'm like, why are they trying to push Eternals as that? I mean, is it the cast? Is it politics? What is the reason why they think that this movie's going to do so well? Does it matter if it does well? It sounds like it doesn't to me. So that's why I say it's no longer a returns-based system in a lot of ways. There's no proven commodity to this. And then they're wanting to just be like, you know what? We're doing this movie and, we are so certain that fans are going to be, excited for a second one. I find that to be strange. I find that to be a really bad business model that I personally would not do if I was the Marvel. Now, if you take everything, if this movie was made 2 years ago, or fixing to come out like 2 years ago, I'd be like, I can understand it a little bit. I mean, the MCU's been going strong. Why would you think that a movie would tank? But now it seems like everything's changed. It seems like people's viewing habits have changed. People are a little bit more sick of it. It seems like the Snyderverse took a lot out of Marvel, and it gave to DC in a lot of ways. It feels like HBO Max has really brought about some excitement when it comes to DC. So I mean, there's a lot of things that I feel like has gone on that would cause people to maybe not come out in droves like they used to for a Marvel film, simply because we got so accustomed to doing it for years that now that there was that break, we kind of look at it and go, are we going to be able to pick this back up like what we used to? That's a big question mark. I personally am a huge fan of the MCU, but I don't know if I almost kind of feel like I've lost that part of me because I've got out of the routine of seeing these movies. So I mean, and you know what? I thought WandaVision, and I definitely thought the Falcon and the Winter Soldier would get me back more in this routine, but it really hasn't. It is done. In fact, if there's anything, it's done the opposite of that. It's made me not excited for future MCU films. It makes me think that maybe the MCU, along with, I don't know, let's say the Arrowverse on the CW, is played out. So I mean, there's really nothing in that Phase 4 movie slate that I'm like, oh man, I've got to see that movie. There's none of those movies. None of those movies. So I don't really, so to me, I'm kind of like, nah. I don't think that, I think this is a really bad move on Marvel. I feel like to me, it's unexpected. To me, it's undeserved at this point. But you know, we'll just have to see. Maybe I'm completely and totally wrong. Maybe this thing will be just an absolute total hit. And you know what? Maybe 2, 3, and 4 of Eternals will be greenlit. And you know what? If the first one's a hit, you know, I don't mind doing a scheduling, 2 and 3 at least, because look, it's been a proven commodity. The first one was good. The second one will be anticipated, and it'll probably be a hit as well. I mean, that makes sense at that point, but I don't know. I'm not saying that Eternals is going to be bad in any form or fashion. It's just, I feel like the hiatus and the lack of showing it has made, or details about it, has really, really curbed my enthusiasm for this movie. A movie that I was at one time extremely, extremely excited about. Because I feel like, you know what? If you feel like you've got a real success here, you're going to show it everywhere. You're going to be talking about it everywhere. You're going to be giving people little glimpses of it, and they haven't done that. Why the tight lips on it when they don't really do that with other things? So yeah, I'm hesitant in believing that this movie's deserving of this. I'm hesitant in believing that people's routines will go back to the way that it used to. I almost kind of feel like Marvel's days are declining, and the MCU's hold on the whole superhero genre is in decline. I'm saying that personally because I feel like the Snyderverse just took every bit of excitement out of the MCU and gave it back to DC to a certain extent. But we'll just have to see, guys. Let me know what y'all think down below. Are y'all excited for Eternals movie? Are you excited for Eternals 2? Do you think that maybe they should wait a little bit before they go and greenlight a Eternals 2 movie? Or do you think they should make a 2, 3, and 4 without even seeing the returns yet? Let me know what y'all think. Feels like a really shaky business model to me, but we'll just have to see. As always, guys, thanks for watching.